Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. It's your brother Gabriel Romaani, Positive Islamic Psychology Counseling. In the last episode, we spoke about accountability, responsibility, and authority, and why many men fail in their marriages because they do not have authority. They are given accountability, responsibility, but no authority. Let me elaborate a little bit more. See, when you have accountability and responsibility, meaning you have to do this, you have to do that if you don't do this. So for a man, if you don't provide, if you are not there, present, if you are not strong, protective, there's a long list of things that you have to do that if you don't do, you are accountable and responsible for, right? Like in the world, if you don't do your job, if you don't do those KPIs that are put on you, then basically you are responsible. You're going to be held accountable. People cancel you. People are going to criticize you. The whole view, the society view, community view on you will be that you have failed, you're a failure. And most men are considered failures today. Indeed, it is true to say that some men, and many men, are weak these days. Many men are not able to fulfill duty for many reasons: environment, um, a lot of propaganda, a lot of systematic failures that have been pushed on men. However, there's the one thing that is being ignored, and that is authority. What was different back in the days? Back in the days, men had authority. With authority comes certain implementation, certain limits. If you look at today's society, if a man is to establish certain things within his authority, he will end up in jail very, very fast. He'll be cancelled. He'll be taken to the public news outlets and will be criticized and will be called all kinds of labels. There's so many laws and policies and regulations tying his hands and not being to do anything to control his family, specifically his wife, specifically also his children. When it comes to children as well, there's just so many limitations. Actually, it's almost like you do not have any connection to your children anymore. So yes, you have to pay for them. You have to educate them in the system. You have to make sure they have the food, the lodging, everything. And if you don't, you're going to be accountable, responsible, of course. However, when they fall out of line or anything happens, if you are to put your foot down, they can easily call police. They can easily put a report in. Teachers are going to encourage them to do that. For God's sake, you don't even have control over what gender they are anymore, even though God has created them that way. If you are to somehow put them in line with regards to what their DNA and their biological predisposition shows, that can also get you in trouble. They can be taken away from you. Your children can be taken away from you if you go beyond providing and sponsoring their livelihood. If you go beyond just educating or just being nice to them, everything has to be your kindness and expecting their kindness in return. But we know that that is not the fact. Same with women, with your wife. These days, everyone's accountable. Men are accountable, no doubt. Hey, and again, a lot of men are weak and a lot of men are not able to do anything. It's true, but there's reason. We talk about that throughout in the Muslim Alpha Man course and many videos that I posted. But in reality, when a man is going to exercise any authority, he will be basically labeled, jailed, sued, divorced, taken for half of his wealth, and you name it. Accountability. Hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But when you are also to put your foot down and to demand certain behaviors, certain cooperation, nope, you're left only to a woman's, if she's nice enough, her niceness, her kindness. So whatever obedience she has towards you, even though God has given you responsibility and accountability over her, whatever obedience or whatever behavior she chooses to do out of her kindness, so she's left only to her kindness, that's what you have to accept. Other than that, if you are to put any limitations or request anything, you will be labeled again manipulative, controlling, misogynistic, all these nice terms that women have been conditioned with over and over again. So a man is kind of set up for loss from the beginning. He is accountable, he is responsible, but has no authority. That is kind of like a police officer who has to serve, protect, is accountable, is responsible, but has no gun, has no handcuffs, has no system behind to put people into place, or tickets or fines that he has to impose on people. No, he just has to tell people, hey, I'll protect you, I'll take care of you, hey, be careful, be nice, this and this, and wait for these people to just somehow in their kindness obey and or be nice or cooperative. Forget about obedience. I don't even want to use that word because that's something again that is a trigger word for many people. Oh, how come obey? So everything is left to people's kindness. However, we know very well that sadly people are not so kind today. And that is why there's need for a system, there's need for police, there's need for army, there's need for firefighters, there's need for laws, for judges, and so on, because the world is not so nice as you would think. So if you leave people just to their niceness, then you're gonna have chaos. Just as police and judges and military and leaders are put in charge, so has man been put in charge of his family, but he's been stripped of his authority.